Welcome back to Sip2Tally Power Rankings on Sip2Tally and more Sip2Tally. Simulcasting on both channels today because the Power Rankings were popular on the more Sip2Tally channel, and I also wanted to bring them to the Sip2Tally channel also. So we're going to start off like we normally do with our biggest gainers and our biggest losers of the week. Our biggest gainer of the week, and I don't have it highlighted, so let me scroll through real quick and check, is the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints moved up 6 spots to number 15. Didn't quite crack that top 12 list, but we can talk about them a little bit, but they moved up plus 6 spots to number 15. Our biggest loser of the week was a team that actually had cracked the top 10, but because of the loss they took this week, they dropped 10 spots, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they had won 4 games in a row, but they got brought back to reality by the Saints. So who would have thought it? And so they dropped 10 spots down to number 20. So the Buccaneers dropped from number 10 all the way down to number 20 in week 17. Which brings us to our 12 through 1. And again, we'll talk about teams 12 through 9, and then we'll have our graphic on the board for teams 8 through 1. All right, coming in at number 12. And this is a crucial week for this team. The Houston Texans. Houston Texans beat the Tennessee Titans 26-3. They get to play a winner takes all game versus the Colts, I think, for the playoff spot. Not sure. Let me see who, because I know the Jags have the same record too. Let me check the standings real quick. All right, so Jacksonville is on top of the conference. I mean the division, but for the conference, Jacksonville I think is in. And then, the Houston and the Colts will play for that 7th spot Sunday. Sunday. So coming in at number 12 is the Houston Texans. They have been 9-7, and I think they're the 12th best team. They beat the Titans pretty handily Sunday. And I think this was C.J. Stroud's first game back from the concussion protocol, so came back, did his thing, and now they are playing for a playoff shot in rookie quarterback, rookie defensive end, who's the number 2 and number 3 picks respectively, and rookie head coach. So shout out to the Texans for turning that thing around pretty quick. Team number 11. This team just won't die. They just won't go away and hide. No matter what goes on, no matter how bad their offense is, no matter how much people talk about them. The Pittsburgh Steelers. 9-7. They won 2 in a row. They beat the Seattle Seahawks this weekend to go to 9-7. They're scoring more points, as obviously scored 30 points this week. They're a little better offensively. We know with TJ Watt, they're always in the game defensively because he's so much of a game wrecker. And they got other guys to help TJ on that side of the ball too. Hayward, Minka, the rookie Porter. They also got the savvy vet too. Peterson too. So they got a bunch of guys on defense that kind of help out the offense, and they've been scoring points here lately. So I got them at number 11. Coming in at number 10, the Rams. Now the Rams eked out a victory over the Giants this week, 25-26. But the Rams have been playing some good football. They were on a little streak before they lost to the Ravens, but they kicked that streak right back into gear, and they've won 3 in a row. So I think they've won, if I'm not mistaken, 6 out of 7. I'm gonna go tell you. I'll go ahead and tell you. I think they've won 6 out of 7. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 out of 7 since they bye week, which is one of the reasons why they've gotten back into the playoff race. The Rams have won 6 out of 7 since the bye week. So Rams coming in at number 10. Number 9. And I really wanted to drop this team lower. I really did. I think the teams below them can't beat them no matter how bad they're playing right now. So that's why they at number 9. And that's the Philadelphia Eagles. When you want to say somebody that fell off a cliff or a team that fell off the cliff, they right on the verge. Now, they can stick their foot in the ground and push back, but they right on the verge of going off that cliff because they have not looked good in recent weeks. Just as recently as week 12, 5 weeks ago, a little over a month ago, they were the number 1 ranked team in this power ranking. And for them to drop down to the point where I barely got them in the top 10, that is crazy. their fall, and their fans are in an uproar. They're absolutely losing it over there in Philly, losing it. But I got them at number 9. All right, teams 8 through 1, and we'll have the graphic pop up on the screen over me while I talk about it. Team number 8 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Chiefs beat the Bengals Sunday afternoon, 25-17. Not a great performance either way. Like, they beat them by 8 points. Bengals playing with a backup quarterback. T. Higgins was in and out. Chiefs probably should have beat them worse than this. I saw a bunch of drops, and I don't know if you know it or not, but the Chiefs have 40 drops. Let that set in. 40. 38, 39, 40. And that was during the game, so they may have more than that now. That is an amazing, astronomical number for drops in a season. 40. I'm going to say 40 plus. But I think they're a defensive team right now with little sprinkle hints of offense. And I think the end is near for Kelsey. I do. I think he doesn't move like he used to. I don't know if he's hurting or that people are just like locked in on him, but he don't move like he used to. And it just don't look right. It don't look right. But the Chiefs right now have him at number 8. Coming in at number 7. I think one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL right now, the Buffalo Bills. They've won 4 in a row. They beat the Patriots 27-21. And the Patriots kind of, gave them a scare a little bit, but they put them away at the end. The Bills have been different since they got rid of Ken Dorsey. They focus more on using James Cook, and more on using Josh Allen's legs. Now, that hasn't set well with, I ain't going to say set well with Stephon Diggs, but that hasn't done a lot for his numbers. But that has done a lot for their wins, too. They've kind of changed their philosophy and went to more of a run-heavy team and kind of gotten away from just throw it all over the place, and they've started winning football games. So it ain't did good. It haven't done a lot for Stephon Diggs' numbers, but it has done a lot for them to win games. And right now I got them at number 7 on the countdown. All right, going to number 6. This team got robbed. There's no other way to say it. The Detroit Lions got robbed. Well, there's another way to say it. Even if the dude reported eligible, I still think the receiver covered him up. So I think he was covered up too. So, did they get robbed? Maybe, maybe not. But I think even if they had called the right number out and said the right person was eligible, I still think he was covered up by the receiver, so he shouldn't have been able to go out and catch a pass. But that's my 2 cents on it. You put whichever way you feel about it in the comment section. But I got them at number 7, and that game could have went either way. I felt like after the first, they had a penalty after the touchdown. Then there was another penalty after the touchdown. I felt like everything in my brain was telling me or telling them, man, just kick the field goal. Because something went right, something went wrong, then something went right, then something went wrong again. I feel like, man, hey, the football people was just telling you, just kick the field goal. Just kick the field goal. But Dan Campbell was hell-bent on going for 2. And especially after the botch by the referees, I definitely would have kicked the field goal, but that's me. All right, going on to number 5. The Miami Dolphins got absolutely blitzed by the Baltimore Ravens. Does that make the Dolphins a bad team? No, it does not. It just means the Ravens had a good game plan for them, executed at a high level, and got them up out of there. That's all that means. I still think the Dolphins are a good team. The only team they've beaten over 500 is the Cowboys, but they're different when they have all their weapons. That they didn't have Waddle, and I don't think they would have won the game had they had Waddle too. But they're that much more explosive with all their guys out there. Now, losing Chubb, they lost Phillips a couple weeks ago. Their defense up front ain't gonna be as what it used to be because they lost them 2 bookends that was getting all them sacks. They were second in the league in sacks to the Ravens, and they've lost their 2 best pass rushers. So I don't know how that's going to play out for Week 18 because they got a must-win game versus the Bills and the playoffs going forward. Number 4, I have the Browns. Cleveland Browns sitting at 11-5. Arguably the best defense in the league. And I'll tell you what they do on defense. And they don't change much of it. For the most part, they're going to sit in cover one, cover your 3 receivers, put everybody else in the box and try to stop the run with them 6, and have that one deep safety to help out them corners. For the most part, that's what they're going to do. And if you can beat it, beat it. If you can't, whatever. And what they bank on is you can't block Myles Garrett long enough for your receivers to beat their DBs. That's the simple game plan of it. And they've been doing a good job of it because Myles Garrett has been damn near unblockable. So moving on to number 3, the team that benefited from the Lions being screwed or missing a play, whatever it is, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are 11-5, sitting at number 3. I think they're the number 2 seed in the NFC. I think, let me check real quick. I think they're the number 2 seed in the NFC. They are, yes, they're the number 2 seed in the NFC. Detroit's number 3. Great game versus them and the Lions. Very entertaining. Lot of everything. A lot of drama. A lot of good offensive plays. A lot of good defensive plays. It just was a good game, and they came out on top. No matter how they got on top, they came out on top. Number 2, 49ers. Obvious reasons. They beat everybody on this list with the exception of the Ravens. And they hammered them too. They went through Philly and Dallas, and they hammered all them big time teams in the NFC. But they lost to the Ravens, and obviously I got the Ravens at number 1. The Ravens are the only team in the NFL with 13 wins. San Francisco may get there, and I was going to say that we will be the only team with 13 wins, but we may win the game next week with whoever we suit up, because I don't think the Ravens are going to suit up a lot of their starters. And even if they suit up, they're just not going to play because you can only inactivate 6 people. So that's for another day. Ravens is number 1. Appreciate you guys for coming through. I'm going to put the whole list up here right somewhere by my hand somewhere. And you can see the whole list. Now, what I'll do next week is, since next week is the end of the season, I'll put week 18's list versus week 1's list. And then we'll see how good I was from this summer, like in July maybe or August, up until now, predicting this. And we'll kind of basically give myself a grade. Just know, as of right now, the team I had at number 1 is at number 1 right now. And with that being said, peace and love.